Welcome to day 15 of the 15-day business challenge. So that's that really, the end. Let's not dramatise it. It's been a slog. It has been a slog. Unpack it briefly. Day 14, when all the things go wrong. You saw the clip. If you haven't, go check it out. But where you expect to be, the things you're expecting to talk about. I was hoping to have some good announcements today, and none of that comes to fruition. Just that's how it goes, right? You keep on keeping on. And so that really framed what I was doing today. So day 15 has been spent just looking through what is it that we're offering to people, what is the value in it, and is it the perceived value or the lack of perception and value that is stopping people from going ahead. For those who don't know, I'm a business consultant and I go into businesses and diagnose where they're losing time and value and money and margins, and just shine a light on it, highlight it for you, because a lot of people have this normalized loss, whether it's we do things slowly, we lose money because that's just the cost of doing it, whatever it may be. But certainly in like high value engineering, high value companies, marketing kind of firms, there's a lot that can be done to make it more efficient. Now, efficiency is a word that people don't like because they always associate it with tightening everyone's belts, losing jobs, etc., etc. Audit is another word they don't like because it's associated with doing head counts, which leads to job value and all that sort of thing. So actually placing it in the market is quite difficult, and I've come up really with like a diagnostic is really how I'm putting it across. And everyone seems interested. People genuinely seem interested in what I can do and what I can offer. But no one wants to push the button. And I wonder if it's a human trait. So for those who don't know, I have a master in psychology as well as all my business stuff. And the pattern seems to be, we love the idea, but we don't want to push the button because we're a bit afraid of what it might show us. Or they don't want to face the truth of what I'm going to show them. And I mean, isn't that how it goes with life, right? We don't like the home truths being shown in front of us. So if I go into the companies and I show them, hey, you could save £30,000 just making a few changes here and here, I don't have to do any of that. You can do it yourselves. And that'll cost you £3,000 to uncover all that information. You would think that would be a no-brainer, right? But a lot of people don't want to know. They know they've got problems. They know they're spending too much money. They know they're wasting time. But a lot of people hide behind that, and they just put it down to the cost of business. Yeah, but that's the cost of doing inefficient business, surely. And if people have more time in their companies, if the person who's working 10, 12 hours flat out every day trying to solve problems, you would think that they would like to alleviate some of that. And if they can, because they're duplicating it somewhere else in the business, well, then guess what? We can save you time. And instead of people looking at it as, oh no, they're going to cut jobs, it's like, well, no, if we free that time up, imagine what other things you could do. You could do some of these things in-house. You could start looking at rolling out the CRM in-house that you've wanted to do for 8 years now, and you still haven't got round to doing it. There's so many things in businesses where they've never got round to doing it. That's the reality, isn't it? We best laid plans, but we're not there yet. So another year, and they go, oh, well, next year we're going to plan to do that. Okay, how are you planning to do it? What have you put in place? Well, we've put it in the budget. Okay, but that'll get taken up by something else because there's a capex or an opex, and something else is going to come along because it's the world, you know. No one knows what's going to happen tomorrow, whether the stock market tells you or not. We don't know. So you always have to have these contingencies in place, but that shouldn't stop you moving the business ahead and trying to optimize, be the best you can be. Now, I've worked in high value engineering, I call it, but high value manufacturing, high value business, where an order might be hundreds of millions, a billion, multiple billions over 20, 30 years, you know, aerospace, defense, automotive, all those kind of things. And historically, those businesses are very risk adverse. They don't want to change what they know is going to work. So getting any sort of change is very difficult, and they always want to know that they can rely on deliver on something. So I worked with quite a few businesses over the years, and some in recent years have saved millions just by changing the way they work. not changing their output. Their output's still the same, but it's changing their approach, changing the process internally. Some people call them SOPs, call them what you will. Sometimes it's just not the most efficient way anymore because technology's moved on. Think of what your phone looked like 5 years ago. Think of what it looked like 10 years ago. I mean, now let's go back 20 years, because a lot of these businesses will still run off of notepads, Excels, some people even handwritten documents and drafted papers. So you can imagine the sort of things that they're coming up against. Now, all of these businesses could benefit from this, but something stops them. And so I've spent the whole day trying to work out what it is. And my only conclusion can be it's the human condition. Of ignoring the truth or ignoring what's right in front of us, but we can spot things in other people or problems that they do a certain way, but we can't see it in themselves. That's the human condition I'm referring to. These 15 days, we've got to be able to learn something. Even a failure is always a learning exercise. It's a growth activator, as some people might say. But what is it that we can learn? I really narrowed it down to a top 5. So in no particular order, the number one thing that comes to my mind is activity. You have to do outbound activity. You have to continue talking to people. You have to go to networking. You have to find the right groups, the right user bases, the right people, who they're talking to and where they're talking and what they're talking about. And to do that, you have to be in the right circles. So number 1 is activity, and 2 is really knowing where that activity should be. Those are really the 2 most important things, I think. 3, I would have to say, looking at what you are offering and being really, really brutally honest. Is this something that people actually want, or is this something that I want to do, but no one else wants it? And that's been something I've had to look at, and I've let a few ideas of things I wanted to do. I've let that go. So that's been a learning lesson. Oh, I could branch off to this. No, put the snake back in the cage. It's not the time to be going off on tangents. And that's where number 4, I think, really comes in. Number 4 highlights focus. I really have focused down on this is my activity for the week, and all other things that I wanted to do. And I have lots of let's go down the rabbit's hole. I have that on a daily basis. But in reality, I've stayed focused in these 15 days. And that has moved me on mentally in terms of having that clear value offering, because a lot of the times people forget to explain what they did. And I'm not talking about the elevator pitch. We're not talking about the blah 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 blah, I do this. But sometimes people need to understand what that thing is, because you could say, oh great, I'm a radiologist, and someone goes, okay, cool, that's great, what's a radiologist do? A lot of people know what it is, but some people don't. And some people go, oh, okay, what is it? What is the day-to-day of a radiologist? Even if you know what the job is, you don't know how they do the job. So I've got a lot more comfortable about speaking with people about what the process is, rather than just this is the process. And so that I've taken that away from me. And I think that really brings me on to number 5. And that is timing is everything. Timing is absolutely everything. Like sales, I had a long 20 plus year career in sales, and I can assure you timing is everything. You can have all the ducks in a line. But as a good man said to me once, you can't tell someone else how to play with their train set. And if they change the goalposts, if they decide they're not doing something, there's nothing you can do about that, realistically. It's how they are doing business. It's the way they're doing business. A lot of these businesses need help. A lot of these businesses can absolutely benefit from services like myself and other people as well, and other external services all working together and collaborating and better communication. A lot of these businesses could benefit so much from that. But the reality is they're in that phase of we just need to get it done. And it's head down, bum up, and just do what you always do, because that will get it delivered and get it out the door. So a lot of the frustration that I've come up against is based on, we love the idea, we would love to do something like this, but we're too busy. But we have no budget. Too busy. But we have the budget allocated for something else. But We would love to do it, but we just think we could do something else at the moment and we'll do it after that. But another priority's come in, or most important of all, but we're going to do it ourselves. Of course you are. Like you have said for the last 8 years, 10 years, 2 decades. We will do it in-house. No, you won't. Nothing will change. And lots of these very stoic businesses, the main reason they struggle is because they're stoic. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the UK, we've got a great history and heritage of intellectual IP, I'd say, in design, engineering, electrical manufacturing, mechanical, architecture, all those kind of things. We've got a really good heritage in that. And a lot of countries around the world come and lean on the UK for services businesses. So there's lots of exported IP and knowledge. So you have like the big consulting firms that people will rely on. That goes all around the world. So when I talk about these types of engineering firms, don't get it twisted that they have no money. They got lots of money. Money, margin, profit, that's not usually the issue with them. A lot of the time they earn enough money, and we're talking good money, that they are comfortable. And what I call normalized losses. So they accept that they lose 20% of this on business operations. And that can be something as simple as we make duplicate copies 3 times over. Just don't need to do that. But what they don't realise or account for is that might take 5 minutes, but they do it 6 times a day in 4 different departments, and that all adds up to £40,000-50,000 a year. They're essentially paying people for something they don't need to do. But they do it because that's how they've always done it. And that's how they did it when they had drafting tables and they had to get lots and lots of paperwork and print excess amounts of things. Nowadays we're in a different world. And yes, IT has created more paperwork and more challenges, but it also gives us opportunity to streamline. Honorary mention of 3 things that I think people do need to be aware of if you're trying to do this practice. And one is that your network can be useful, but this day and age, particularly more than ever, people are not prepared to go out on a limb to help you. And people are certainly not interested in making introductions in the old way they used to. So networks are great, but you'll probably find a lot of your networks are connected with a previous life, a previous role, a previous scenario, etc., which is wonderful, and they're all lovely people, but they all got their own remits. They're all got their own things to do. They haven't got time to do introductions or make connections. And that became apparent at the networking event, where you had a lot of old boys there who were there for the free lunch. They weren't interested in networking. They couldn't give a monkeys who most of the other companies were. They literally didn't care, kept themselves, and they just sat there talking with each other. And you think, that's what the world's like at the moment. If someone's not going to help you and you get a personal gain from it, they haven't got the time. They're too busy, because everyone is busy. And that goes to a positive, which is the things that keep you going are your family. And remember, family is a broad term. It can be the friends that you choose. They're your family. And I'm lucky to have significant people in my life who are always positive and have been encouraging. And I think that is really helpful sometimes, because some days you want to smash the throne and throw it out the window. And they remind you it's just, it is what it is. So finally, my final one is just to not give up, to keep going, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed to anyone, and I've lived that. And that rewired my brain quite dramatically. So we're not reliant on waking up even tomorrow. And sometimes it is just, clients lie. They do. You all do. It is what it is. People are human. We've all got our own problems. We've all got our own stuff going on. And the world at the moment is crazy, right? It's a crazy place. I genuinely believe this is what I'm going to do, to help people solve their problems, to make them operate faster, to help them save money, help them make money, because I love helping people, and I've got a lot of experience and skill in it. So I've just got to keep on doing it and keep on trying. And some customer is going to be brave. Someone's going to be brave enough to say, hey, we know you're going to highlight and shine a light on the things that we can improve on, and we welcome that. And it might be scary. It's a bit like I'm the Gok Wan, and I'm going in there and I'm taking their business and putting it in the that room with the mirrors where they can see themselves from every angle. It's a bit like that kind of scenario, eh? And yeah, that can be scary for people. I get it. But if you're not brave and willing to change, then you're going to spend the next 2-3 years doing the same thing. And, what's the definition of lunacy? It's doing the same thing all the time and expecting different results. Like, it's not. It really isn't. So I just got to do things for the people I love, and that includes me. So I'll make a short version of this and chuck it out, and I'll put this longer one up. But thank you for all of you who have been supported and just paid an interest. 15 days can change your life. 15 days, 15 minutes a day, 15 hours a day. Give me 15 seconds, 15 minutes, 15 hours, and 15 days. That's how I broke every task down into 4 simple things. Is it a 15-second, 15-minute, 15-hour, or 15-day task? That's it. And this was the 15-day task, and it's done. And now I'm going to do another 15 days and take what I've learned from that and do another one. And I won't do that one publicly. I'm going to see what comes from that and maybe put some results up. But I'd like to leave you with a thought on this. I've had some really good conversations with customers, potential customers, should I say. Stats, 9 decent phone calls in those 15 days, targeted towards people who are relevant. Out of that, had 2 customers looking to go ahead next week. And that's the start of March 2026. And 1 who was interested, but they've got things on at the moment, so this was more of a, okay, we're ready, we want to do something, but maybe not yet. Great, okay. That seems reasonable. In 15 days, I'd have called that a win. Unfortunately, both those 2 businesses have now pulled out, and they're not ready to do something at the moment because of X, Y, and Z, fill in the gaps. So the reality is, when you're in these scenarios, there is no pain for them in not going ahead. There's a pain for me, but there's no pain for them. So that was that's the hardest double punch in the last 15 days, really, has been you really want to throw things at the wall and burn your bridges sometimes with people when you think they're messing you around. But the truth is, a lot of the time they have genuine reasons, and then just they don't feel the pain if they don't go ahead this second. So like in a lot of sales, their timeline is not your timeline. And that's just something that I'm just going to have to keep taking until more and more customers come through the door. But yeah, it's been an interesting few days, that's for sure. I'm going to do another 15-day challenge myself, but I'm keeping this one off the road, and we'll see how that goes. But thank you everyone who's watched, and thank you for anyone who's made a comment or liked and shared. And if you know someone who runs a business or could benefit from me helping them, then put me in contact with them. Just link us up. We can do the rest, that's fine. We're adults, we can all speak like human beings. But making those connections actually makes a massive, massive difference. And that's not just for me, that's for any small businesses. And small businesses can be people who turn over 20 million. Make those connections. Say, hey, you do this. Do you speak to those guys? You may want to speak to them. Hey, she does this. Have you ever spoken to her? Make those connections. And there's people, I promise you, in your families and friends who would really, really benefit from accessing the network of people that you actually know. And it just takes 2-3 minutes just to send a message. So go help someone else out, because it's a good feeling, trust me. Have a good one.